We are living in a new era where the future of every job, every team, every company is being reshaped by AI. Not tomorrow, today. Our purpose isn't just to build the future. It's to lead people into the future we're building together.
We don't just manage performance, we unlock it.
We don't just automate processes, we remove drudgery.
We don't just empower people, we give them superpowers.
The future is people plus AI.
To grow.
To lead.
To succeed.
Building a people-powered future. In a world moving fast without always moving forward, where we face more questions than answers, and purpose can feel uncertain.
We choose courage.
We give direction.
We provide meaning.
So whether you're leveling up your workforce, simplifying your stack, or reimagining what's possible, Lattice is here to help you lead this moment, to make work meaningful, so people plus AI succeed together.
Please welcome to the stage Lattice CEO Sarah Franklin.
Hello. Oh, that's loud. We didn't mic check before, but hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This is quite a moment to absorb, being here together with all of you in this room in San Francisco, bright and early. You've braved traffic and all of the adventures of the city to be here. And we're here today because we have an incredible event at Lattiverse. We've been preparing for this moment, and we're so excited to be here with all of you today. We have over 25 sessions and over 10,000 people joining us, not just here, but also online on LinkedIn. Hello, everybody on LinkedIn Live. Thank you for tuning in. We have content that's delivered not just by us as Lattice, but by you. We have over 40 speakers where we're bringing the best, most talented people leaders around to help share with each other your best practices, and we can learn from each other. We also have the happiness expert, Gretchen Rubin, who here has read her book, Changed Your Life from her, yeah? She's gonna be here today, and Michal, Lev-Ram, the editor-in-large for Fortune, is gonna be here at the end of our session. And then Isabel from Financial Times is joining us in London, because we carry the party on to London next week. London team, thank you for the shout out. We can't wait to see you next week. And it would not be a Lattiverse if we did not have some very special guests with you today. And the show stealers here, come on up here, Darlene. Come on up, Emmy. Oh, can I hold one? Oh. This is what you came here for, right? Okay, this is my puppy now. I think my daughters, Amelia and Michaela, would love that if I came home with a new little puppy. But we have puppies, and not just here on stage, but we also have here in San Francisco from 12 to 3, correct? Puppy Pin, where you can go and get your therapy time by petting a puppy and having some amazing time with the puppy, right? See, that's my glamour shot right there with the photo. So, oh, we have 2 little puppies. Okay, I do have to do the rest of the keynote. I'm sorry. Cute, right? That's all you needed, was puppies. So at Lattiverse, we're going to learn, we're going to connect, we're going to have fun, we're going to pet some puppies, but we're also going to give back, which is something which is very important, that we take time out of our day to give back. And together with our customer Bark and with all of you, we're going to be building puppy kits, which we can donate. And you can collect flair along the way. You see some of the fun flair for your lanyards. And this is what we'll be doing here today. And it's important more than ever to start today grounded in gratitude. As people leaders, we all know that saying thank you is something which can be so simple, yet carries so much meaning. And it's so helpful in the day to just start off the day by saying, you know what, thank you. Thank you for being here, thank you for showing up, and thank you for all you do every day. So a huge thank you from myself and everyone at Lattice to all of you, our customers, our partners, our community, and also thank you to all of our employees that care for all of your success every day. And at Lattice, we have and always been on a mission to make work meaningful. Now, those are three little words that pack a very serious punch. What does it mean to have meaningful work? It means that you understand why you're there, what goals you're working towards, what your impact is. You understand that what you do every day is contributing to the success of your company and your teams. And if you think about it, we spend about a third of our adult lives at work, more time than we often do sleeping. I know I'm in that category. We spend more times in meetings every day than we spend at home at dinner having time with our families. So if we don't show up every day doing work that's meaningful, I don't know about you, but that's not okay to me. That's not an option. These are table stakes that what we do every day needs to have purpose and meaning. And this is what Lattice we are here on the mission to do. And we're doing this together with you, succeeding together in this mission. We have over 5,000 global customers. We have over 24,000 members in our community. And something that we're very proud of is our products are rated #1 by you on G2 and Capterra and review sites, because we want to innovate for you. And we care about every customer, especially we have 75 customers that are fighting social injustice that are running on the Lattice platform. And we want every customer to be successful, especially those that are looking to bring good into the world. And this is why, and we're also innovating together. And something that we're very excited about today to share is that we are investing in companies that are nonprofits with our new program, Lattice for Good. We're making powerful HR tools accessible to mission-driven teams, helping your budgets go further by having discount programs for you. And we're not just focused on helping customers doing good, we're also innovating together. This past year, we have over 250 features that we've delivered in our platform. Features that cross our new products with HRIS and payroll into our flagship products with our talent suite. And something also we're very proud of at Lattice is that we make our roadmap transparent and available to you on our website. And your feedback is what informs our product decisions. You can go online and you can share thoughts and feedback for product features that you want to see in our products. And together we're doing this because as people leaders, we believe in the success of people as primary. We all put the success of people first. And this could not be more important in the age that we're living in, where AI is very pervasive. There's a lot of hype around the opportunity. How do we stay focused on the most important asset of any company and organization, which is their people? And we all know this here together. We all know that it's only when people are thriving, when you have a very good culture, when people have positive, imaginative, curious thinking, that is when a business thrives. And that is why we're all here today. Because we're dedicated on this mission to help people succeed, but it is not easy times right now. This is a truth that we all face together. It's why we're here together, because it's not easy. Engagement is not just down. Engagement is at a 10-year low. We have our State of People strategy report where we hear from all of you, and we have our data, which we know what's happening in the world. Engagement is down. And the pace of change is just increasing. I mean, who here has, in maybe the last 6 months, had a manager change, an organization change, a strategic shift? I think everybody's hands in the room have gone up. This is our reality. And what this does is it just erodes trust in our most important asset, our people. When the rug is being pulled out from underneath you, when you don't know what's coming or happening, change keeps happening, you lose trust in the people telling you what to do. You're not certain if what you're doing matters. And these are things that we have facts that we can look at. We have statistics that we share on LinkedIn. We have open discussions about that. We have tons of sessions where we can talk about all of these things and how we can improve, how we can invest in our people. But then as people leaders, there's also the things that go unsaid. There are the elephants in the room about the time that we're facing and the world that we're living in today. There's the fear, the uncertainty, and the doubt, the FUD. These are things that we don't often talk about enough. They're the most important things, though, that we need to address. Because there's fear, like, what does AI mean for my job? Is it going to be eliminated? Am I going to be automated out of work? What about my kids? We're in the graduation season right now, and a lot of college students have gone through a long time of studying and working hard, getting their degree, to come to find out that now the unemployment rate for educated, higher educated graduates is higher than the general population. This is for the first time in like 50 years. That's scary. This isn't people saying, oh, I got a degree in art or music. This is a computer science major that's saying, I don't know how I'm going to get a job. And then there's the uncertainty. If you have a job, like, okay, do I use AI? Do I not use AI? Is it cheating or is it helping me? We're uncertain with what to do with what our career architecture should be. And then the doubt. Is it going to help me or is it going to hurt me? Is it really can I really trust the AI? So these are the elephants that we live with every day. And as people leaders, here's the plot twist on it all. You are not looking for the spotlight. You are not asking to be put in the center of all of this, but yet it has found you. And you have your colleagues, your executives, your teammates, your friends saying, hey, what's going on with people right now? What is the people's strategy? What does this mean for our workforce? What does this mean for our jobs? What are the answers? I have so many questions. And you're sitting there saying, well, this has never happened before, and you expect me to have all of the answers? But here's the thing. This is an incredible opportunity. If we take ourselves out of the fear, the uncertainty, and the doubt, and we take ourselves into our human, and we ask ourselves, what is the opportunity that we have right now? Ask all of you right now, like maybe close your eyes. Gabe, like close your eyes for a minute. You didn't know that was going to happen, right? And just think, imagine a world where, okay, all of the rote work and all of like the non-strategic things, they're just kind of done for me, and I can have time to breathe. I can have time to think. And imagine if you were a manager and you know exactly in the moment, the right time where your employee needed you, and you could show up immediately with the answer and you could coach them with exactly with what they needed. Imagine how incredible that world will be. Now open your eyes and think of AI as a way to give ourselves superpowers. Who here has a favorite superhero? I do. I have Wonder Woman. She's my favorite superhero. You know, she has like the magic cuffs. Okay, she has superpowers. She has like this invisible jet that she flies in. But one thing she has that I love is she has this magical lasso. You've seen that lasso? You can lasso it around anybody, and they have to tell you the truth. Kara's laughing at me right now. Could you imagine if you could go to anyone in the world today and say, you have to tell me the truth right now? Imagine how great the world would be. These are the superpowers that whether you like Superman, no matter who you can think of, the way that we can think of ourselves is giving ourselves these superpowers at work. That's what we have the opportunity to do. But here's what's important. Who knows Iron Man? Yeah, so the way that we think of AI is that we create this Iron Man or Iron Woman suit that you need the person inside to drive, to operate. And that's what we want to do with AI agents, is really give ourselves superpowers so that we can be so incredible at our job and that our work can feel very meaningful. But again, we have all these questions like, is this happening? Yes. Does it mean a lot of change? Yes. What does it mean? I don't know. But the most important question that we all need to be asking ourselves is how are we going to face this moment? How are we going to bring AI into our workforce? Because it's not just what we do right now, it's how we do it that matters. We're making decisions that are going to impact our lifetimes, our children's lives. The workforce is being reshaped in front of us, and what we do right now matters more than ever. And that is why we need to build the future that is people-powered. And we need to do this in a way where we have people and AI succeeding together. And this is what we're doing at Lattice, and this is what is important for us, is how we all together, as an HR leaders, as people leaders, as how we embrace this moment as our opportunity to lead. Because when you look across your organizations, if you look at any function, you look at a revenue function, it's led by a CRO, their north, their guiding star is going to be bringing more money into the business. You look to the marketing organization, they're going to bring more pipeline. You look to the IT organization, they're going to look to the success of the technology first. They want to have successful processes, programs, systems in the technical. But when you look at people leaders, you look around the room right here, right now, you are the people that care about the success of people first. And this is why this is your moment to lead. This is our moment to lead with responsibility, accountability, and transparency. And when we have people plus AI with superpowers succeeding together, that is the future that we want to build. And when we have people at the center, AI around us, just like the little Iron Man suit that we can walk into and give every manager the ability to coach their teams, their peoples, have everything available for you, that is the future that we want to build together. And today now what we want to do is have our head of engineering, product, and design, Eric Schuchman, here to share what we're doing with our product and innovation for you. Eric, take it away.
This slide.
Morning, everybody. My name is Eric, and I'm our head of engineering, product, and design here at Lattice. For the past decade, Lattice has been helping companies across the globe reinvent how they engage with their teams. Last year, we announced the availability of our full people platform, helping you not just with performance, engagement, compensation, and employee growth, but employee experiences like onboarding, payroll, time tracking, so you can have a single cohesive experience for you and for your teams. We also announced our ambitious AI roadmap to help save you time and help your teams make better decisions. Lattice AI started with a series of AI capabilities that we wove into all of our existing products that you know and love. Things like engagement survey summarization, so you can help get themes from the thousands of comments your teams leave you during engagement surveys. Writing Assistant to help your teams increase the number of completed performance reviews and the amount of feedback that they give. And performance summaries to help managers during calibrations read the review packet so they can make better decisions during calibrations. A month ago, we announced the availability of our most ambitious innovation yet, the Lattice AI Agent. The Lattice AI Agent is like a personal assistant to help not just you, but your teams, your managers, your individual contributors get insights about what's happening at the company and make better decisions. People can get instant answers about your HR policies, your HR content, about questions they have as managers. They can get insights. Managers can ask complex questions about what's happening with their team. They can access personalized coaching, get advice about tough conversations they need to have with a specific employee. And overall, they can save time and reduce costs while making better decisions. I want to step back and tell you a little bit about how our agent works and why it's different from other AI tools that you might have in your company. Let's say you have an employee that asks a question like, when can I get a raise? If you're anything like me, that's a question you hear pretty frequently. Your employee can ask that question to the Lattice AI agent. And the first step of the agent is to understand what context, what data does it need in order to answer that question. So first, the agent calls the permissions engine. This determines what information the agent has access to. This is the same engine that we use to determine what information any user of this system has access to. So when an employee is using the agent is only ever going to look at information that that individual has access to. There are a number of sources that we pull from. The first is the Lattice Knowledge Vault. These are documents that you upload into Lattice, things like your HR policies, your HR handbook, any coaching documents you have about frameworks that you want your teams to be leveraging during tough conversations. And so we can look through these and find relevant details. The second is Lattice product data. This includes information from employee profiles, things like location, tenure, job type, as well as Lattice product data, things like one-on-ones, feedback, reviews, and other data that you have in Lattice about employees. And finally, we know not all of your information lives in Lattice, so we also connect to other systems that you use. You can connect documents from Google Drive, Dropbox, SharePoint, OneDrive. Over time, we'll be adding other integrations as well, CRMs like Salesforce, ticketing systems like Zendesk and Jira, so that you can pull in real-time information about what's happening in your company. Once the agent has the context, given the specific question being asked, it sends this data to a large language model. We use OpenAI as our partner. They do not train on any data we send them, nor do they retain any data. So there are no models being trained on anything happening with Lattice. The large language model generates a response, which we then pass back to the user via the agent. So in this case, an employee asked, when can they get a raise? We can give an answer based on their tenure at the company, your specific compensation policies, when you are in the year. And so instead of the employee needing to ask their manager or contact the HR team, they can just automate this and get the answer on their own. What makes this really different from another tool that you might have deployed at your company is that we can give a specific response. A general large language model can answer, when do companies generally give raises? When are employees generally eligible? But we can say, when is this individual employee eligible based on their specific information? We can answer all sorts of questions. We can help managers prepare for one-on-ones by understanding notes from previous one-on-ones and updates from their team. We can help managers understand how their team is feeling based on updates. We can help people understand what to focus on, given the goals of the company and given the general things happening on their team. I'm also very excited to announce some new capabilities for the agent that we're sharing today and we'll also demo for you later. The first is proactive insights. So instead of managers needing to ask the agent questions, we can proactively identify opportunities and push the insights to them. The second is a coach persona, to help both managers and ICs alike get personalized coaching based on tough situations that they may be in or hard conversations they're preparing for. A meeting assist, to take notes in one-on-ones and also give managers coaching about how to have better one-on-ones. And finally, voice modality. We know that some people like chatting with AI agents via text, but we also know that some people prefer talking, and so we'll be adding a voice modality so that you can talk directly to the agent. You can get started with the agent today. It's actually available for free for all customers up until June of next year. Just turn it on in your account. It's available for all of you. You can scan this QR code to learn how to put AI to work for you and get the step-by-step guide. We have Leah, our incredible director of engineering for AI, will be at the customer desk after this. She's excited to chat with you both about AI in general as well as the Lattice AI agent. And I'm just super confident this is going to save you time and also help your teams make better decisions. And with that, back to you, Sarah.
What I love about that is when people ask around AI and what does it mean for people's jobs, who here has an HR business partner for every employee at their company? Right? I'm a CEO of a company, and I feel very fortunate that I have an executive assistant, but who here has every engineer at their company, every finance person, every person that has their own assistant to do everything, help it? No, right? So these are things that as people leaders, you want to provide the coaching, you want to provide the help, and these are things that we don't have people able to do for us now. And this is really where we start talking about superpowers, these coaches and these assistants. And now what we want to do is help put this, talk into story that you can understand what we're talking about, how we make work meaningful. And we do want to do this through the lens of you, our customers. How people plus AI succeed together to help you grow, lead, and succeed. And to tell the story of one of our incredible customers, Brex, let's first roll a film.
Growing a company is one thing. Building a culture where every employee can grow their career, that's the real challenge.
Our first performance review cycle, it ran on a spreadsheet, and it crashed. We knew we needed a solution to better support our high-performing culture and one that could evolve and scale with our talent strategy.
Lattice gave us a system that is reliable, flexible, and actually supports performance and career growth. It's helping every employee understand what growth looks like and how to get there.
Lattice just works. It's reliable, it's intuitive, and it fits how we operate.
We're not just managing people or tracking performance, we're unlocking potential and helping our team level up to grow their careers.
AI is becoming a core part about how we operate, helping us move faster, work smarter, and scale.
We're excited about Lattice AI and its ability to equip managers with real-time insights and employees to grow and do their best work.
Lattice keeps up with our pace, our people, and our priorities.
It helps us grow the business and grow the people building it.
Work should be meaningful.
Lattice helps make it real.
And to help tell this story, we have an incredible member from our own people team, our Senior Director of People Operations, Mendy Slaton.
My name is Mendy Slaton, and I'm a people leader here at Lattice. I've helped lead AI initiatives internally, and I'm super passionate about supporting people plus AI to be successful. And I'm so excited to tell you the story about Heather Dunn, Chief People Officer at Brex, a leading fintech company that's not just about growth for the business, but also for its people. Heather's facing a familiar challenge that most of us HR leaders face, that she's trying to build a high-performing culture, but she needs the systems, the programs, and the processes that are really going to help her teams do that. And as you saw from Ian, their first performance review didn't go so well. But since they've been leveraging Lattice, they've been able to move faster and more effectively. And now, with Lattice AI, they're excited to accomplish even more. Heather's excited to see every employee grow as a result of leveraging Lattice AI Agent. And with new AI functionality like proactive insights, coach, meeting assist, and voice modality, the opportunities are endless. The agent is more powerful than ever before, and it works as her team does. It's allowing her team to focus, deliver high-quality work, and build better managers. Let's go ahead and switch over to the demo to see it in real life. Here is the new and improved. This is Diego. Diego is an engineering manager at Brex. We've been working tirelessly with teams like Heather's to incorporate feedback on our designs and to make sure that we're providing proactive insights to engineering managers like Diego. And what you can see here is that Diego is being served insights from the Lattice AI agent. He can see things like team sentiment, recognition opportunities, feedback opportunities, and it looks like there's a performance concern on Diego's team. So let's dig into that. Typically, this might be something that sits and waits, but the agent is proactively providing the nudge to Diego that there might be a concern that he needs to address. It looks like Casey, the direct report on Diego's team, has missed several deadlines and she's not communicating effectively. So instead of waiting, the agent suggests drafting talking points and having a conversation sooner rather than later. Here's the situation, though. Diego's a newer manager at Brex, and he's a little bit nervous about this conversation. He wants to strike the right balance between setting clear expectations with Casey, but also making sure that she's motivated. So he feels like he could use some support. Diego asks for help, but he's one of those people that really would like to just talk it out. So he's going to try out the Lattice voice modality functionality. Let's hear it and see how it works.
what would be most useful to discuss about your conversation with Casey?
How do I broach the topic in a way that won't make Casey defensive and let them know that I care about their success?
Your goal isn't just to give feedback. You should also partner with Casey to identify next steps that will help her move forward. Be specific about the pattern, connect it to impact, and make it safe to ask for help. This isn't about catching mistakes. It's about helping her succeed in a new domain. Ready to give it a shot?
It's pretty cool, right? Diego's a newer manager. He wants to go into that conversation with confidence that he can land it and make sure that Casey stays motivated. But this can be good for any manager. Think about Heather and her team at Brex. Training the AI agent on Brex's best practices, people philosophies, their values. The agent has all of that incredible context, and it's helping support managers like Diego and provide consistency across your organization. It's like having your own little HR assistant in your pocket, but doesn't need the coffee breaks. So let's go ahead and fast forward to the Zoom conversation. Diego activates the Lattice AI agent, and he's able to focus on this moment, this human moment that truly matters for Casey. He's not worried about taking notes. He's focused on setting clear expectations for Casey, and the AI agent is transcribing the conversation, it's summarizing it, and it's drafting action items. And it looks like the conversation's going okay. So Diego comes back to his Lattice homepage. He can see a beautiful summary of the conversation on the right-hand panel, action items for Casey that she needs to do to follow through after their conversation, and meeting feedback for Diego. How cool is this? Things that he landed in the conversation and things that he might be able to improve in future conversations. This is truly mind-boggling. If you think about it, this is democratizing coaching. Coaching has historically been reserved for VPs and executives because it's costly. And this allows managers like Diego to be present in those moments and truly show up for direct reports like Casey. Fast forward a couple weeks, Diego is back to the Lattice homepage, and he has an update from the AI agent. It looks like sentiment and performance are trending upward for Casey. Fantastic. This is exactly what we want to see. So the AI agent suggests adding that to their next one-on-one and giving Casey some recognition. She took this as an opportunity to grow, and she truly rose to the occasion. Great work, Casey. Let's recap what we just saw. The Lattice AI agent nudged Diego and let him know there was a performance concern on his team. It coached him on the conversation, allowed him to talk it out, gave him the confidence that he needed to be there for Casey in the moment that mattered. And it also did a lot of the back-end work to help him just be able to truly focus. And then it gave him, the good news that he wanted at the end, that things were trending upwards. So this is where AI is not replacing the humans, but it's giving them the support that they've always needed and removing those bottlenecks. And that is how Brex is succeeding with People Plus AI. Back to you, Sarah.
Amazing. Amazing job, Mendy, but we don't want to just hear it from us. Right now, we are very lucky to have Heather Dunn, Chief People Officer at Brex, with us here today. Heather.
Thank you for having me.
Excited to be here. So share a little bit with us, what do you think is important about helping employees at Brex grow?
Yeah, for us, if you talk to any Brex employee, they're probably going to say, oh my gosh, you threw us into the hardest challenge. I've never done anything like this, and you gave me a ton of ownership. And what's been really exciting about that growth opportunity for folks is a little bit of a sneak peek, but we've discovered we've actually developed 4x the number of founders since our inception in 2017. And so to me, that is really an indicator of the way that we grow our folks at Brex.
And what do you think about work being meaningful?
Yeah, it's such a good question. For us, everything centers around our customer. So whether it's getting in front of our customers, learning the hard things about what our customers are dealing with, seeing their successes, but again, also thinking about Brex as a launch pad for their careers. So how are we preparing you for that leadership role at a bigger company or to become a founder at some point and hopefully a future Brex customer?
And AI, it's all the rage, everyone's talking about it, but it's, what do you think about AI and having people plus AI succeed together?
I know we have a bunch of people from the Brex team here today. I will tell you, it's probably the only thing I'm talking about. And I think people are like, okay, yeah, we heard you, Heather. But to me, what I'm really looking forward to is seeing the way that employees can find the work that they uniquely can do best. And so where are those efficiencies? How can they spend more time with the customers? But I would say in addition to that, what was touched on here, which is we don't need to depend on just a manager to give the coaching, or we don't need to depend on an employee feeling brave enough to have the conversation about their career growth, but really enabling every employee and manager to go drive those without it feeling like such a hard-hitting topic that we need to track and monitor is something I'm really excited about as well.
Well, thank you for your leadership and your vision and everything that you do every day at Brex. Thank you.
All right.
So the storytelling and the light shining on people leaders continues, this time through the lens of our customer, Unreal. Let's roll the film.
At Unreal Snacks, we're intentional about the snacks we make and are just as intentional about how we build and lead our team.
We were growing fast, our headcount doubled, but we didn't have the HR infrastructure to support it.
We needed a platform that could scale with us, nurture talent, and help us build the next generation of leaders.
That's when we turned to Lattice. We brought all our core people processes, from onboarding to goal setting and performance, into one integrative and intuitive platform.
What I loved was that I could see Lattice working just as well for a team of 30 as it could for 500.
Lattice is now embedded throughout the employee journey, giving us one place to plan, support, and develop our people.
Employees have one clear system for goals, feedback, and growth, so they can develop with confidence.
My team saves time with automated workflows, and our managers gain insights to drive team impact.
We've enabled every Lattice AI feature, and it's helping to drive real impact.
We're moving faster, making smarter decisions,
and we're focusing on the work that really needs a human touch.
We've always believed that putting people first is good business.
With Lattice, we're building better leaders
and making work more meaningful at every stage.
So to bring this story to life, we have another incredible member of our Lattice People team, our Senior People Operations Specialist, Bryan Scott.
Woo. Hey, you know what? Y'all truly know how to make somebody feel welcome. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So I am Bryan Scott. At Lattice, I lead the systems and strategy that power our employee life cycle, optimizing and automating our processes so that our people team can focus on impact, not admin work. We just saw how Unreal Snacks was getting bogged down with disconnected processes that was making their growth extra painful and hindering their ability to support their people. With Lattice, they've unified all of those processes, streamlined everything in place, and now they're able to make a bigger impact. Just like Unreal Snacks, we're building for the future. Let's take a look at how Lattice is going to help extend Unreal Snacks' HR impact with effortless onboarding and payroll, seamless integrations, and the ability to address turnover risk early with our new employee health tool. By the way, y'all could have cheered right there. But let's get to the demo. So everything at Unreal Snacks starts with a streamlined onboarding flow, pulling all of an employees' critical data into one system. We're going to take a walk through at how McKenna, the VP of People, is going to onboard Julie, a new hire, and just how seamless this process is going to be. To kick it off, McKenna is able to start onboarding. With that, all of Julie's critical data is pulled directly into one system from Unreal Snacks ATS Greenhouse. From there, due to this, Lattice has an open integration system. Because of that, McKenna does this seamlessly without lifting a finger or paying any extra cost. So from there, the onboarding screen, she's able to see that Julie on her journey has completed all the different steps from her background check and checker, her LMS course assignments through WorkRamp, and her I-9 verification through E-Verify. After that, Julie is completely onboarded, and McKenna only had to just start it. So, before we go any further, I would like everybody to raise your hand if right now you would continue to do your job if you weren't getting paid. No hand went up, neither would I, because love and appreciation has never paid any of my bills. So, with that being said, we're gonna now go to one of McKenna's next key tasks, which is payroll. Now, McKenna just started 2 days before the payroll cycle ended. Previously, McKenna would have had to go through the manual process of trying to prorate this pay data along with sending a manual wire outside of the payroll system. But with Lattice, this is all done seamlessly. It automatically prorates that data, and guess what? Even though McKenna just started 2 days before the cycle, due to our integration with Employee Navigator, all of her benefit deductions are synced through the system, and she is ready to go. McKenna is then able to see with anomaly detection all payroll changes that have happened week over week, and then from there, with just a few clicks, there's no more manually auditing the data, everyone is paid, and she is good to go. So just like that, McKenna can focus on more strategic work. There's the clap again. Okay, but now we're talking about strategic work. With that, it is now time to introduce Lattice's new employee health tool, which allows you to attack attrition risk proactively. Now, one of the biggest differences between employee health for Lattice is that due to our competitors that can only use simple data like age and tenure, we use the entire breadth of the Lattice and Talent HR suite to give you the most holistic view of your potential high performers that's gonna leave your company. And I know no one in here wants to see their high performers go to the competitors. So let me show you how this works. From there, McKenna wants to set up Julie for success, even though she has worked for only 2 days so far. With employee health, she's able to see all of Julie's direct reports and figure out what's going on to set her up for success. We see that Nick, employee health is low. Let's look into this a little bit. With employee health, you are able to view all previous performance packages, and as you see, you're already getting the prompt letting you know this is an employee we definitely want to keep. But as we start looking through the data a little deeper, we see that Nick has had 3 manager changes in the past year, which is not a recipe for success. Also, Nick's employee growth has been stagnant. He has not gotten a raise in 2 years, which actually makes sense because if they've had 3 manager changes, that means there's been no one there to advocate for them to be able to get that raise or promotion in time. Also, we see their sentiment scores are dropping. Nick is expressing in our talent suite that he doesn't feel appreciated for his work. And just like that, McKenna can send this information over to Julie, even though she just started, to now attack the bigger company goals of keeping their new hires in seat and improving employee retention. After this, that was just a small view. Now, we need to prep for our upcoming meeting with Kevin to be able to provide bigger business insights across the company. From there, we can use Lattice AI, and this all happens in one seamless workflow. You know what? Let's check on the employee health by department. Okay, I see the sales team is kind of low. Let's check on our sales managers to just see how their health has been feeling across the board. Just like that, it populates right away. Oh, I see Bryan's doing good. Keep up the good work, man. You deserve a promo. So from there, we see that, yes, the employee health of all our different managers it's given us enough, but maybe we can get a little bit more granular and start to dig into this. Let's see how employee health varies by tenured. Just like that, all in the same seamless workflow, everything populates for you. And, this makes sense. So I see that employees with under 2 years of tenure have enjoyed working at the company, but after that, the scores start to fall off. So right away, I can send this information to Kevin directly in a scheduled one-on-one monthly report. With that, we're set up for our one-on-one, and we can attack our business objectives and actually make them happen seamlessly. Now, let's recap what you just saw. McKenna was able to onboard Julie seamlessly through our onboarding and payroll tool. After that, due to our open integrations, all that critical data was taken from multitudes of places, and then it's put in one unified system. And with employee health, we were able to attack our bigger goals within the company of keeping those high performers in seat. And just like that, that is how Unreal Snacks is succeeding with people plus AI. Back to you, Sarah.
You see the incredible people that I get to work with every day on our people team. It's just amazing. And so right now, Kevin, you are the star of the show. Coming up here, CEO of Unreal.
It's a tough act to follow, I gotta say.
So share with everyone here, you have a room full of people leaders, and they all want to have these incredible one-on-ones with their CEOs, and they want a CEO that's dedicated to developing leaders. What is your thought on developing leaders?
It's so important, right? I mean, people are our greatest assets, right? We're a product company. We make chocolate snacks, which are delicious, but ultimately we're people who make those decisions and make those things happen. And every person wants to grow and lead and become, the best version of themselves. So it's critical to any, healthy, vibrant culture to really focus on leadership development.
And meaningful work, what does that mean to you?
It's everything. I mean, we're a mission-based company. Our mission is to unjunk the world, and our vision is to create a world in which all food is 100% real. So, every team member who joins Unreal is aligned with that and really wants to make that happen. And that's true of so many companies, right? Like, you have people who come in and really want to make a difference in the world and have meaning in their work, but so many cultures and organizations just push that down into a really bad place, and it's not healthy, right? So it's really up to leaders in the company using the right tools like Lattice to really embrace that and make every culture and every person feel like they're best and feel like they're contributing in the best way possible to that mission, to that vision, and embracing your values in your organization.
And what do you think about AI? We were chatting last night. You came from Boston all the way here to the AI Mecca, and you're like, I'm a confectioner company. Did I say that right? Confectioner company? I learned something new last night. What does AI mean to you, and how important is it to your business?
Yeah, great question. I feel like I've been catapulted into the future, but it's actually the present. I took a Waymo for the first time. I was taking the videos and everything. So we got to catch up. But what I realized last night at dinner and in conversations is it's a competitive disadvantage not to embrace AI. And being kind of new to the AI world, coming from a candy company, it can be scary, right? It can everything you spoke about in the opening, but really leveraging AI to get the most out of your people, to have them be their best selves, to have your organization be exponentially better. It's not an additive thing, but it's an exponential add to any team, and it has to be embraced. And that is the present, as I figured out, and also the future in a big way.
Well, thank you. We definitely have Unreal Snacks here for everyone here at Lattiverse today. If you don't have them in your snack room, get them. And isn't he an exemplar CEO that we all love? Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. All right, we have one last story to tell for you all today. You enjoying the story time? Yeah, we want to put people leaders up here and tell your stories. That's what we want to do. And we're going to have our grand finale with the story of Bark. Let's roll the film.
Every team at Bark was chasing the same goals, just not always on the same path. As we grew, staying in sync got harder. Department leads had strong opinions about when and how to run reviews, and we were wary of a one-size-fits-all approach. We needed a system that could adapt to what we know works for Bark while creating more consistency and transparency for our employees to succeed. Lattice gave us the balance we needed: structure, flexibility, and visibility in one platform.
We now have one review process, flexible for every leader's timeline. And our CEO is a top user of Lattice updates because it perfectly fit into how he was already engaging with our executive team.
Lattice is helping us succeed at every level, giving employees the tools to grow, helping managers lead with confidence, and keeping teams aligned. Lattice gave us clarity and consistency without losing what makes us us.
Our people team is investing in AI and appreciate how Lattice AI is enabling our people to succeed. We've seen massive impact already, reducing the questions our HR team receives and giving us time back to focus on strategy.
Lattice is built for how people work. It doesn't just help us perform, it helps our people succeed.
And it keeps our pack moving forward together.
Please welcome our VP of People, Sophie Hurcombe.
Hi, I'm happy to be here today. Welcome to Lattiverse. So I am Sophie. I have the absolute pleasure of leading the people team here at Lattice. At Lattice, my team and I are customer zero, which means we're the first one testing the product, we're giving feedback, because we want to build a product that delights all of you, our customers. It's something that I get so much joy from in my job. It's probably my favorite part of my job, and I really, really love this, and I'm so excited to be talking today about Christina and her team at Bark and the incredible journey they've been on in Lattice. You heard the story of Christina and her team and how they're succeeding with the Lattice product. You also heard from her about the challenges they face and how they're able to make the structure they need, the flexibility they need, but also the consistency to make sure the product meets the needs of what a HR team needs to make sure it's all incredibly successful and consistent across the teams. I'm really excited to talk about the Lattice Talent Suite because this is the product that helps us do that. It's built with you all in mind. And I want to talk about the incredible innovation we're driving in this space. You heard from my colleagues about the incredible things we're doing with AI and our HRIS, but I also want to take a minute to just pause and talk about Talent Suite because this is the product you've all known and you all love, and I want to make sure we're talking about the innovation we're driving here. Our performance suite, our compensation tool, our growth, and our engagement products. These are the things that we're continuing to double down on, making sure we're innovating and making sure it's continuing to delight all of you. So let's go to the demo and take a look at what this looks like in Lattice. Christina starts her day on the Lattice homepage. She has access to everything she needs. She has tasks she can get completed. She has access to her team health and her team sentiment. She also can come in and prepare for one-on-ones and her meetings for the day. She has a question, and instead of leaving Lattice to go sift through multiple documents or her intranet, she can ask it right here to the Lattice AI agent. When are the reviews happening? Because she has them running on different schedules. She wants a quick update. It knows her details of her company, and so it's got this right here delivered to her, the context she needs in one place. She's curious, who on my team is eligible for reviews? Because Lattice knows exactly who reports to her, it knows their start dates, and it knows the details of her policies and guidance, it can give her an answer here, immediately, contextualized, and specific for her. Pretty cool. We're really excited to announce that soon this will also be available to ask these questions to the Lattice AI agent in places like Slack and Teams. Yeah, let's get it. Christina's back on her homepage. She's got reviews to write. She comes in and she starts to write that review for Tammy, one of her direct reports. When she lands on this page, she can come into the context panel here on the right, and she can see a performance summary. This is AI-driven, and it summarizes things like peer feedback and then also peer reviews, all here in one place, so she has everything she needs. I'm also really excited to announce that soon we'll be able to pull in insights from places where people work. Zendesk, Google Meet, giving you a much more holistic and well-rounded understanding of your team's performance. You'll also have access to things like one-on-ones and updates, growth areas, and goals, making sure that this review is really well-rounded and reducing recency bias. We want to make sure you have access to everything you need to write that review. While AI helps write and summarize the context across all these different platforms, you as a manager are still at the core of making that evaluation and assessment because we want to make sure people plus AI is incredibly important here. You make the rating, you make the decision on performance and potential, and just like that, the review is complete. Simple, seamless, so much more efficient, and really removing so much manual work. We move into calibrations. As we go into the calibration process, as HR leaders, you know how important and critical these meetings are. It's often the time you're spending with your executive team members, making sure you're evaluating your talent effectively, efficiently, and fair. No longer are you needing to download these review packets, share them with your executive team members, and hope they read them. You can come in here, have a summary, your executive teams can see this, and they can jump straight into the calibrations. AI produces that summary, it summarizes those review packets, and no longer are you streaming through multiple documents. Pretty cool. Tammy's also up for promotion, which is pretty exciting. And so in this calibration, you can both evaluate that and make a decision right here in the platform. Everything from context to decision is happening here in the Lattice calibration tool. Promotions come with compensation changes. We wouldn't expect otherwise. And so as Christina moves in to make a recommendation for Tammy, she can do this here in the Lattice compensation tool. Everything she needs, compensation bands, company guidance, and recommendations, all here so she can make a seamless and quick decision. She plugs in the comp change and processes that and moves forward. After all your managers complete their compensation and put it into the system, the HR team can then move forward, and instead of needing to download big spreadsheets and upload them into different systems, one click of a button, we can send it to Lattice Payroll. This really removes human error and makes this so much more seamless and saves your team so much time. I have one more really exciting update to share with you all today, and I hope that the BARC team and our Lattice talent customers are going to love this. I'm really excited to share that starting today, effective immediately, available to all of you, you can download PowerPoint slides for your engagement survey results. Yeah! I am personally so excited about this. It's such a big thing, and we know you've been asking for it, and we want to deliver on that. And so available right now, you can do that. One click of that button, and you have everything you need to really get that in front of your executive team. You can filter it via things like Manager. You can filter via custom fields. You name it. So it's ready to go for you, one click of a button. So excited about that. As Christina shared, we want to remove the drudgery and really free up your time so you can focus on what actually matters, driving the action plans and actioning on those engagement surveys. Incredibly impactful. So I just want to recap what we talked about. Christina and the team at BARC are able to manage everything from performance to payroll in one incredible platform, Lattice. And that's how Christina and the team at BARC are succeeding with people plus AI. Back to you, Sarah.
The computer was so excited for the PowerPoint export. It was like, chicka, 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 chicka. I can't wait. Promise you it's there, and you can all, it's just actually telling you, like, go do it live in your own Lattice instance. That's what it's telling you to do, right? I mean, who would have thought the future, we've got AI that does incredible things and then downloading the PowerPoint. It's real things, right, that matter. Okay, but enough of, I shouldn't play comedian up here. I'm terrible. But again, we want to shine the light on you. So Christina, come on up here, Chief People Officer at BARC.
Thanks, Sarah.
So share with us, what does success look like for your people?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we talk a lot about clarity and growth, but it's not just about the individual goals, and it's not just about, our earnings call. It's really about connecting the two and how people feel in between. So are they feeling empowered? Are they feeling seen and on the road to success?
And how fun is it to work with puppies?
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Sorry, that wasn't, you weren't writing that one, but I was just saying.
I know I'm with a fellow dog person, and it's so fun.
Oh my gosh. So meaningful work, I think that you've got it right there, but what do you think about meaningful work?
Yeah, when we think about meaningful work, it's so obvious, like the glue of the team, we're all there for dogs. My dog is how I ended up at BARC. I had 3 foster puppies, and most people at BARC have a story like that. So our why is obvious, but I think the challenge for our people team and what we think about a lot is how to make sure people feel close to our customer, because some people are the toy designer, and so they're getting pictures of their work back from our customers. And then some people are the toy testers, some people are issuing POs, right? And so making sure everyone feels really connected to what they're part of that creating dog joy, right? Because that's our fundamental mission, is creating dog joy. So how do we all feed into the dog joy? That's what we want to be a part of.
I love that, dog joy. That's incredible. So transition to AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about AI and how important is it for your business?
Yeah, our team, I think like a lot of teams at first, it's kind of like, ooh, AI, and we got asked, the people team got asked, lead the charge. Like, what does that look like? But it's really been empowering for our team. We have a really small team, and it's amplified everybody's abilities. I think there are always these things that, like, when we have time, when we have more people, we'll get to these strategic projects. And not just in the people team, but across the team, I think it's empowered people to be more creative and, like a lot of people have said, get that Iron Man suit on and do some, dig deep and do work that only you can do. I think Sophie mentioned a drudgery, and right, just like we had a hackathon, like how do we all get out of that kind of work and into some really exciting stuff?
Well, thank you for everything that you do. A huge round of applause. Thank you so much, Christina. So we told you 3 incredible stories, and I just have to ask, how blessed am I as a CEO with my people team up here? They are so incredible. Thank you. Round of applause for them. We're here on this mission together where it really is putting people in the center. The way we have the diagram even drawn here, the center, the epicenter is people, and all of the apps and the technology is built around the success of people. And AI is here to help everyone succeed together. And we have at Lattiverse one more thing for you, one more innovation. And when you think about everything that AI can do for your people within your HR teams, we're not selfish folk as people leader. We want our whole organization to succeed. We want everybody to have these superpowers. And that's why our engineering team said, let's not just make this for our HR teams, let's make this available as an AI platform, an AI agent platform for every employee to have their own custom agents. And to share more about the technology and the innovation here, please welcome Eric back up onto the stage.
Hey again, everybody. So I told you earlier about how with AI, we started by weaving AI into every single Lattice product. And with our agent, how you can accomplish entirely new types of problems or solve entirely new types of problems in Lattice through our agent. I'm really excited to share that all of those incredible capabilities that we shared about our agent, the ability to pull in all sorts of data, to be grounded in the context of your company and your people, we are making that available to other teams and other employees in your company so that they can help solve the same types of challenges that we're solving for you. Let me show you what that looks like. So here we are at the agent platform home screen. You can create your... All right, here we are at the Lattice agent platform home screen. Here, you can create your own agent from scratch, or you can use one of the agents from our library. We've put together all sorts of agents that we think would be useful to you at your companies. The HR help desk ability of our Lattice AI agent, why not provide that same capability to your IT team, or your finance team, or your procurement team? The coach we showed earlier to help managers have better one-on-ones, why not have a communication coach or a sales coach? Let's take a look at the IT help desk. So in the same way that you can link your HR content to create the Lattice agent and answer HR questions, you can link IT content to your IT agent and answer questions for employees. So for example, here we have an employee asking about when are they eligible for a new laptop? Again, a question that I'm sure a lot of you hear pretty often from your teams. We know when the employee started at the company, we know what job they're in, we know their geography, and of course, once you link your IT policies, we can answer IT questions for them as well that's specific to them. The one-on-one coach we shared earlier, with the ability to pull in notes from one-on-ones and give feedback, that becomes a communications coach. Imagine having a coach using the frameworks in your company about how you want to do presentations, and having an employee practice an all-hands or a keynote presentation late at night on their own and getting real-time feedback about how they can do better. Or potentially a sales coach. Put in the content you want about how your sales team talk to your customers and let them practice pitches live. The possibilities here are endless, and I'm super excited to see what you all do with this later this year. And with that, one last time, back to you, Sarah.
It's not our last time, it's like, I don't know, it was good for the joke. Anyway, okay, so what we've seen here today is how we are able to give every employee AI superpowers. And this is not just for HR, it's for IT, for finance, for every employee. And this is important because we're not talking about saying, let's build an AI-first world. We're saying, how do we have people plus AI succeeding together? It's a very important conversation. I hope all of you today are not just seeing innovation, but feeling empowered as leaders, feeling empowered for the opportunity that lies ahead of you to go to your companies and be the strategic guiding light that can help us bring AI responsibly into our workforce, that can help make work meaningful for all of your employees, and really just have people smiling at the end of the day, because whether you have puppies or whether you have chocolates or whether you have software, that you know that what you're doing every day helps and is giving back to the company. And we want to keep this conversation going, and as we mentioned at the beginning, we're very lucky to have the editor-at-large of Fortune, Michal Lev-Ram, here to help us with the conversation. Michal, please welcome to the stage.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. Okay, I'm getting the sense that this crowd likes puppies and candy and founder-friendly corporate cards. Is that, this is...
I mean, what else is there in life, you know?
That's right, that's right. Okay, so I'm very excited for this conversation. You know, this is just obviously the biggest topic. I was just driving up here from Palo Alto on the 101, and if you count the billboards that are like dedicated to AI in the workplace, you know, you lose count at some point. But I actually want to start on a non-AI topic because I think we've quickly pivoted to AI and humans working together. I'm not sure we like solved the puzzle on everything that kind of came out of COVID, on just the future of work, on the changes, these massive disruptions that we saw in the workplace with remote and hybrid and work from home and distributed and all of these different flavors. And so I want to start by first asking you just where you think, like, what's your assessment of where we are on just that very kind of, you know, lower tech subject for starters?
Like, where should we work?
No, like, what do you think that have companies figured it out? Do we feel like there's resolution there? Is it still an open topic? Is it problematic? Just how would you assess where we are on that topic?
Well, I mean, I think you have the experts here in the room that would say, do we think we've figured this out yet? No. No, resounding no. And you know what, we're all figuring it out together. And that's what's important, is that we give ourselves grace as we figure this out. My personal belief is that when we look at the workforce, we need to remember that we're adults and that we are accountable to our work and we're accountable to our quality of work, and that we are accountable to the decisions that we make. And so we at Lattice are a company that we have a hybrid policy, and we trust people to come to the office and use the flexible time purposefully. But you know, it's been, like you said, it's been whiplash. It was, rewind, what was COVID, 2020? I mean, 2025 now? Is that crazy? It was go home, come back, be woke, don't be woke. It was, you know, all of these things. And now AI is putting us all at the center where there's even more questions. And so we don't have it figured out, but we have to figure it out quickly, especially with AI, because we cannot lose control of the situation.
I think there was also be woke at home, not in the workplace. So that was another iteration. Okay, so let's get to AI, and I guess, I mean, this is probably a very complex question or complex answer to this, but does the advent of AI, of agents, of this changing yet again of how we work, are there ways in which it helps and or hinders this other context that we're talking about that we clearly haven't figured out yet?
Yeah, so there's two questions that you asked there, which I think are two of the most important questions for us to address when we look at anything. Can it help or can it hurt? And we have some cautionary tales that we can rewind to that's in our lifetime. We don't have to go 100 years back in the history books. And we have social media and mobile phones, which came into our lives and our lifetimes. And it's very interesting when you think that it was, I think, 2004 when you have Facebook coming out. And it was incredible, like democratization of voice. You have people, mobile phones now, democratization of internet and access. And we thought about the opportunity. We were very excited. And we just freely brought these technologies into our lives, into our children's lives. And it wasn't until like a decade plus later where we put some controls in place for self-monitoring our screen time, or having legislation like GDPR, which says, hey, you should be mindful of this data that you're sharing. And fast forward today, I mean, I profess I'm, addicted to my mobile phone. I don't think I could go an hour in the morning without reaching for it and looking for it. Social media, I do less of that, but it's definitely in our children's world, and whether it's bullying or fear of missing out or people seeing them, changing the way that they look. These are things which they've come into our world, and so your question, so insightful, is it going to help us or is it going to hurt us? And so with AI, we talked about this today, how can it give us superpowers? How can it help us? But we can't lose sight of asking ourselves that question of how can it hurt us, so that we keep ourselves eyes wide open and saying, let's make sure that we ask ourselves those questions so we can stay focused on what matters, which is the success of people, and not take us down some dystopian pathway, which is scary. I mean, some of the headlines now are scary around that.
Yeah, and it seems also very, like a lot of other things, a lot of other topics today, very, this polarized reality where it's doom or boom, right? There are real, more mundane concerns kind of in the present tense that maybe aren't getting enough attention, and real opportunities too, of course. So I think you've made your strategy very clear on this kind of, paving the way forward for a more AI-infused future. You've also said that a lot of companies are stuck at the kind of ChatGPT window phase. So talk a bit about why this is the right strategy for you, why you think this is the right kind of open the door moment for companies, for clients.
Yeah, and this has been very interesting because AI is, again, so much opportunity. And I mean, I don't know if you all felt this. You feel like if you don't talk about AI, then you're the weird person in the room that's, you're like, oh, you don't know AI? I can't believe you must not be good at your job. You're like, no, it just came out yesterday, but sorry if I'm not an expert.
It is a Silicon Valley thing, though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I don't think if you, I don't
burst
know.
Or bubble, tell me.
Right? Like in candy circles, is it all AI all the time? No, see?
I want to go into the candy circle. Life sounds magical in the candy circle. I mean, imagine I got to taste the product again, you know.
Tough.
Got to try it. I hear the coconut ones are the best. I like the peanut butter and chocolate, though.
Chocolate-covered coconut. That is where it's at. Okay, but you were saying strategy.
I mean, did you see the puppies, though?
Yes, that was also amazing. Delicious in a different way.
So what was the question?
So the question, back to the question. We got very sidetracked by candy and chocolate. So the question is, if a lot of companies are across the board in different sectors are still kind of stuck at this ChatGPT window phase, hey, let's experiment, let's throw some spaghetti at the wall, let's see how our employees are using this. Why is this the right path forward for you? What are you hearing from clients that makes you feel like this is everything that you outlined here, some of the new features and products that there is appetite and that there is going to be comfort with it?
Yeah, so being stuck at the starting line is a feeling that I've had talking to a lot of customers. You're being told, mandated to bring in AI and make everybody more productive. And you're like, okay, how am I going to do that? And then one of the reasons in the keynote, and one of the things that we wanted to really embrace today, was an educational moment, an opportunity to break down AI for what is really impactful and important in what's happening. And I don't know if you remember the slide. It was one that showed a contextual response and a generic response. And that's the thing, when people just go up and you just open up ChatGPT, number one, you don't want your employees like just dumping your corporate data into a ChatGPT. And even if you have an enterprise license and zero data retention, if it's not given context and grounding the question that you are asking of the LLM, it's just not useful. And so this is important because we have to build trust. Another thing that happened in our lifetime, or maybe just mine, and I'm old, but is banking changed with having ATMs. And you think about when you were used to taking your money, which was paper, and you would go to a bank and you see a person, I'd be like, Michal, like, please, like, put my money in the bank. And I was like, okay, she's gonna do it. We looked eye to eye, she's doing it. I'm like, okay, now go to this metal box and talk to this metal box, give it your money, and trust that the metal box is gonna put it in your bank account. I'm like, I don't know, I kind of like her better than the metal box of like talking about my money. I mean, Bryan told us we don't work for free, you know? So it takes time to build trust. And so that's the same thing. So if ChatGPT, if you're just asking it questions and getting answers that aren't that helpful, like, do you really think it's, you know, do you trust it? But when you can ground it in your context securely of your employee information, your system information, your values, like all of a sudden you get responses that you're like, wow, this is incredible. And it's like the ATM, like, okay, the money did make it into my account, and that was a lot easier. And now I can do more strategic banking when I talk to my bank and my financial provider. And so that's what we wanted to do today. And what we're at Lattice is not just having the technology, it's how do we help you use the technology. It's why, so Steph over there, Steph Waldner, she's our incredible head of customer experience. She is so passionate, and she makes sure that we are here to help you, our customers. And that's what I think, whether it's a technology solution or service that you use, you want somebody that's looking at your success first. And so AI is not just a product, it's also a philosophy of how we help you be successful with it.
One thing that stuck out to me is this notion of an assistant that's proactive, really, for the first time, right? We're seeing that in different use cases. Do you think that represents also a shift? I mean, it's certainly a shift in in capabilities, but I think there's a different, I'm just thinking of myself in my kind of day-to-day, in my career. I use plenty of tech tools, obviously, and I use AI in a variety of ways, but I don't quite yet use it in that kind of like, I'm feeding things into it, and then it's sort of not waiting for me to prompt, to ask, to whatever, but like, hey, you seem to, be a bit down. You want some candy today, whatever, But talk about sort of what that represents in the workplace, and is it as novel as I think it is? I mean, I guess humans sort of did that, but maybe we're too busy for it in a lot of contexts.
Well, there's being too busy. There's also acknowledging that we can only process a certain amount at once. We can only see a certain amount as a human. And that's what makes us human. We have the way that we work, and technology, if it gives us the superpowers of being, all-knowing to what's happening, but then not in a way that's overwhelming, it filters through the things that we need to pay attention to. And this is actually an opinion I have, that this has been the plight of technology for decades, to make our work life simpler. The unfortunate thing is that it became too overwhelming. And I don't know about you, but between my Slack notifications, my emails, my text messages, my phone ringing, spam calling, all of the things that you have to keep straight, we've become more overwhelmed by technology. And the user experience is also complicated, where you have to remember, okay, click this menu to that button to this field to fill out that thing to get this notification to do this workflow, and then these two things need to work together, and if it breaks, then that's a problem. Like, we've had to think through all of that and design the systems. The magic in AI and the LLM really is that you can talk to it. You know, so it makes it simpler. And so what we don't want is to just be overwhelmed with notifications. What you want to be able to do is have a conversation. And so the proactive nature is very useful. We do have a deep belief that the AI should not pass judgment. It should not say you do this or you do that. When Sophie did the talent review, it was very important to show that we're able to bring all of the context and nuance to a level of understanding where it's synthesized there, removing bias for you and everything. But then you make the decision. You know, you assign a performance rating. And that's a very important ethos and philosophy that I think we have to hold ourselves accountable to. But to the proactive nature, I think it's great. And I really think that we can be more human in the moment, because we can know, okay, somebody's probably having a hard time right now. It'd be really good if you just picked up the phone and gave them a call. Or somebody did a really good job. They busted their bum making this happen. And if you just said, like, thank you, it would, like, go pay off in spades. And these are things where the more that we can be human, be present, be informed, be prepared, proactively, I'm an optimist, but I want to steer us that way so that we can, you know, make work meaningful and just be better humans to each other.
So you have a marketing background.
Yes.
Worked in it for years, star marketer. And I'm curious to hear you kind of pontificate a little bit about what you've learned about how to talk to employees about AI, about working with AI. I mean, there are a lot of terms that are put out there, and obviously AI agents is a big one. You know, giving employees a superpower, your own personal assistant for everybody. Like, what do you think resonates? What doesn't? What do you steer clear of because it doesn't resonate, put it in a nice way, or it makes people even, you know, fearful? Which we'll get to more of those questions, but just from a marketing perspective, give us your take.
I would say if I had to pick one word, it would be honesty. And I think this whole group here, like this is a group that you want honesty more than anything. You know, like you see the honest truth every day. I mean, I will say as a CEO, I was, 1.5 years into being CEO of Lattice, coming from marketing background, I built products, I had engineered by schooling, and I'll be honest, I did not have full appreciation for how hard the job is for people leaders until you met Sophie and our people team with Mendy and Bryan. We have an incredible people team, and Kara over here used to be on our people team leader. You get honesty at your job, and people saying things that happen or things that they need and things that go down, and you don't want somebody coming giving you just a marketing line. So I think when you're talking to your company, and this is a conversation we've had at Lattice since last year when I joined around AI, and when we were bringing AI into our sales organization using an AI SDR, I felt it was very important to have that conversation with my company and say, we're going to be using an AI SDR, and I want you to know that we're doing that. I think honesty is important, and then being very open to listening to feedback. And that, I don't think anything can replace that. Yeah, you can make it sound more exciting, you can make it have more opportunity, you can make it sound more approachable, you can make it sound various ways, but at the end of the day, we all have to be honest. Again, that Wonder Woman truth lasso, Imagine if we could tell every politician, every leader, every, just tell me the real deal. That's what you want to hear is the truth.
Yeah. By the way, as a part of that, I mean, is it impactful, or is part of that thinking that it's the data that's at the heart of it, that's driving the AI to, do whatever it's doing, right? That really stays core to also the experience, or is it not?
So data is paramount. I mean, we've all seen this, learned this, know this, that if you don't have good data, the AI won't be able to give you good responses.
But I mean, from like the end user's perspective, is it important that that data is, that they are aware of it, that they see it, that they can kind of double click and figure out what's going on behind the scenes?
Yeah, and that's why, I mean, I don't know if we didn't point out everything in the demonstrations, but showing that there's citations which are there in the product, and you can, for example, if you have Notion pages, PDFs, Lattice data, you showed some Zendesk integrations, Salesforce integrations, being able to say, okay, here's the citations, and if you want to actually go in and you see the data where it's coming from, that transparency is very important. And as a HR tech company, we have within our data, there's legal and compliance reasons why the data has to be good. I can't mess up your social security number, your paycheck, all those things. These are very important. So the data about people is very good in our systems. And but it's important that yes, you have that transparency with the data.
Okay, I'm going to ask about something that I'm sure is top of mind for probably everybody in this room and for your people. And that's what made a lot of headlines just in recent days. The CEO of Anthropic said that AI, we're going there, that AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs. I liked one headline that called it a white-collar bloodbath, which is a great way to, I'm sure you shared that around. But I'm just curious to start with, what was your initial reaction to these headlines, to what he said? Obviously sent out a, ripple of fear across various industries. What was your reaction?
My reaction is that we need to not drive fear into the workforce and the population and society right now. It is good to be eyes wide open and aware, but I think such strong statements inject a sense of fear, which can be paralyzing. And we talked about earlier today, what the situation that college graduates are facing right now, where the workforce is evolving, and something, if you double click down to what entry-level roles and what that means. We need to not be paralyzed by fear, but yes, everyone, whether you're young, whether you're old, whether you're versed, whether you're just learning, you need to say, I'm going to be curious, I'm going to be confident, and I'm going to learn AI. And it is important. I don't see 20% unemployment tomorrow. I don't see things like that happening. But it is fair to say that the change of pace is fast, and to instill urgency. I don't want to instill fear. I think we should instill urgency. That people need to just, if you don't think AI is happening, wake up. It is happening. And if your business isn't using it, bring it in responsibly and figure it out along with all of us that are figuring it out at the same time together. It's not like there's anybody that has a 10-year head start on agentic AI out there. This is an opportunity. So I think a way to lead is through transparency, building trust, and building urgency for action. But fear is not something which we want to paralyze people with right now.
Do you find that the younger generation is actually, this maybe seems obvious, but I'm just trying to figure out what's real. Are they actually more comfortable with it? They're probably too old. Those in the workplace are too old to have sort of really grown up with it. I look at my kids, I have teenage daughters, they're writing me texts that are very clearly written by ChatGPT to like make the case that they should have whatever, right? And then they put it through like a humanizing app, which also sounds like AI. So anyways, that generation clearly is growing up with this. Is the younger generation that's actually in the workforce, are they comfortable or are they worried? Because they're also, at the start of their careers, and so potentially susceptible to being very impacted by it at the same time.
Yeah, two things I'll say to that. One, this was a few months ago. I was at a dinner, and it was very interesting chatting with a friend. And she was saying, it's super interesting, these Waymos right now. Waymos are the self-driving cars in San Francisco. They're all around. She's like, I want my 16-year-old in the Waymo because I trust the Waymo. My 16-year-old's like, no, I don't trust the Waymo. And she's like, wait, what? This is weird,
Wow.
And it's very interesting how it can be situationally with the technology where the adult older person trusts the technology more than the 16-year-old's ability to drive. But the 16-year-old's like, no, I don't trust that Waymo is not going to crash me into a tree. I don't. And so it's interesting. But to the example you gave,
I think the older person doesn't want to drive their kid around. Is what's
right?
Yeah.
You're like, when did parent become Uber driver to soccer and school? That wasn't really in the job description when we signed this agreement. No, but you had shared that lovely story before around, your children saying, okay, I'm going to make you, I think they made you like a PowerPoint presentation or something.
They do a lot. It's...
So here's
she was actually trying to convince me to let her have Snapchat. And so she used ChatGPT to write a manifesto and then I was like, you know what, you shouldn't have ChatGPT. That's my conclusion. But
here's the thing: is that didn't she make the presentation like related to you, or she made it something?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one that was, but yeah.
Oh, she's apparently very fluent.
She's very, very digitally.
What I love about this story is that she tapped into something which is very human, which is her creation and her creativity. Mm-hmm. And she used tools that were able to unlock creativity that before were just, you couldn't necessarily see what she was trying to create. And my youngest daughter, she actually has been using an AI tutor. My youngest daughter is 10, almost 11. And I don't know if you've seen what they've been doing in some of the schools in Texas and Florida and others, where the students spend a few hours a day with an AI tutor. And the tutors are able to interact with them in ways which are totally tailored to them. Like, you may like analogies about dogs, you may like analogies about chocolates, you may like analogies about trucks and trains. And so in your various levels. And so you teach the fundamentals and you use these tools, but then the teachers themselves focus on the practical pieces, like how to tie your shoelaces or how to exchange money in a store. And the testing rates are like top 1% to 2% nationally. So what your daughter is learning is how to use tools to unlock her creativity, to unlock her potential. And what we have to do is teach them how to responsibly use it and make sure that we show up with the practical assignments. Like, okay, that's cool. Now use that in a sentence, use this in a presentation. And the more that we can focus on spending our time on the things that, because I think of myself, like I would be a terrible math teacher, but I love math. And I love seeing children being able to learn the fundamentals and then spend time in the love and appreciation for the subject matter.
I think, it's interesting you're getting at this whole notion of creativity, which I definitely see. Again, I see it in my kids. I see it elsewhere. I see it in the work that I can do. Even just setting up your own website as somebody who's a journalist or, whatever creative, like that used to be costly and time consuming, and you need to, hire somebody to do it. And it's the possibilities are just, so endless with the increasing number of tools out there. how do you spark that like comfort, love, time for creative experimentation in the workplace? What kids are doing, what teens are doing with this?
You have to make it part of your culture, and you have to give permission. You have to lead by example and say, this is what we want to do. It is hard. It is a change management that we're all going through. It is also something that we need to be very clear with expectations. So I expect you to use AI in your job is something that not everybody has probably been told yet. I expect you to experiment. Okay, that's good to know. So I think that we have to be very clear. And I think that we have to really make it possible for people to go outside of their swim lanes a little bit. Like what you said of, the website used to be hard to build. Like I had to have somebody else do it. Think how many things that you think, oh, I'm not capable of doing that because I don't have this or that skill. Or I'm not an engineer, so I'm not technical and I don't know how to use this technology. I need somebody else to do it. This is something which I just get really excited about because as somebody that's been in technology my whole career, I want it to be not something that is scary. I want it to be something which is really magical. And whether you're an artist, we were talking last night around even musicians and the way their mind thinks and so creatively, like we need more creativity in the workforce, more of that problem solving and how you do more of the, okay, this is the way we do because it's the way we've always done it. Maybe that's not the right thinking and we can think more creatively. And I think there needs to be more space for that in the workplace.
Talking about AI this way as this, unleashing creativity as this superpower in your pocket, for employees, for creatives, for kids, that's one aspect. There's this other aspect which, we talked about earlier with the Anthropic CEO and his comments, which we're very fearful of and for good reason, and that's this notion of AI replacing jobs. We know it will replace some jobs, who knows how many, how quickly, and what new jobs get created, like that's all TBD, right? By the way, the range between 10 and 20% unemployment is quite large. So even and they're both scary, but that is a really, really large and impactful range. What have you learned about sort of how to think about, I think that the term bot is falling out of favor a bit, but it's clear that people don't want to think about bots as employees. You guys have learned this firsthand. Talk about sort of what the learnings are there, what the takeaways are there, and how, if and when AI takes on more and more, how do we think about it as not just like, this is my little assistant here, it's my added superpower, but I'm actually working side by side with AI, doing other tasks that complement mine maybe.
Yeah, this is the world of work that we're reshaping right now, and these definitions are still TBD. The technology is still evolving, and there's still not pervasive education for what even a bot is compared to what an agent is. That level of understanding of the differences between the two is still not common knowledge. A bot will always do what it's supposed to do. It's given rules and an if-then-else algorithm and decision tree within to function. And it gets data by doing SQL queries to a database, and it's given a script. And what it will do. An agent uses a large language model to rationalize and decide what is the best answer to give back. And so the fact that it can reason, that it can decide what to say is very different than something that lives in a pre-programmed like if-then-else tree. And so
when we have agents which can talk to a customer, talk to an employee, it's just important that you have a whole different level of responsibility around it. And we have to have the guardrails around it, but we also need to have very clear assignments for what it should do. And we need to understand its goal and purpose for being there. Because if you're going to, manage this agent, which is doing work, it needs to have a very clear assignment, not go off and decide what it wants to do on its own. And that's why having principles are important, like the AI doesn't pass judgment. Or the AI will always have a human accountable. Those are two things which are very important as we go through this, because we don't have the answers. People even ask, they say like, okay, what are you gonna be in 5 years? And that time frame right now feels very daunting to think about where we'll be, when just in 5 months, we're like, whoa, that's crazy where we were at. We didn't think we'd be there 5 months ago.
So, okay, so this gets to me, one of the most fascinating parts of all of this, which is what does that mean for leadership? Because what you're describing in this future is that, again, at this point, we're talking about agents for the most part as being sort of, working for us, for specific employees, right? And being this superpower. And in the future, it could be more and more agents are taking on their employees, basically, right? They're not, but they are. What does that mean for leaders, for managers? And as you said, a human should still be accountable at the end of the road, right, for the agents as well. What does that future look like? And I know you just said you don't know, but I'm still going to ask you.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, this is a choice right now for us as an industry, for us as a society, for us as a group of people leading other people. This is a choice where we can choose to put the success of AI first because we think it's cool and hypnotizing and can do a lot of razzle-dazzle fancy things. Or do we choose the success of people first? At Lattice, we've made our bet. We're saying we're going to bet on people first and AI here to help, to help us succeed together. And does that mean that it could be working as your colleague? Does it mean that it could manifest in various ways? But at the end of the day, if people aren't more successful, and if we're not happier, work more meaningful as a society, that's not the outcome that we're trying to go for. I personally don't want to have, okay, we have the most efficient world ever with the robots running it, and everyone's unhappy and nobody has a job. That is not the future we want. And so we have to, as humans, as people, make sure that we make the right decisions that are optimizing not just for profits, but optimizing for the success of people first. And, as a business, you can decide, I'm going to save money, but I'm not going to just cut everything out, because I think that it's important that we still have purpose and meaning. And so it's a decision that we face. And it's something where we can be stewards of the future that we create. And it's also why I deeply believe that HR and people leaders, it is an important time to be the voice and to be the beacon at your companies, because you care about the success of people first. If we only look to technology, we will fail as a society, in my opinion.
Are you guys ready to give AI performance reviews? Everybody excited about, yeah? They're very good at taking feedback, very polite. What do you think are the biggest misconceptions when it comes to everything we're talking about? What are you hearing most often? People who are not dabbling in this, who, aren't from your world, aren't from tech, or aren't, sitting where all of you are sitting. What are the biggest misconceptions right now?
I think that they're a bit polarizing. One of the biggest misconceptions is that it's not real and it's not happening and it's not that good. The other misconception is that everybody is successful with it right now and driving incredible value from it out of the gate. Both things are not true. And so people that doubt its capability right now, that is a misconception because the technology is quite powerful and quite good. People that think that everybody's just like, oh, I got this mastered and everyone's using it and it's just all hunky-dory, that's not the case. And so we have to have the courage to have those honest conversations around, okay, we're at the starting line, we're gonna bring this in, these are the problems we're having, these are the successes we're having, and that is a polarized misconceptions, because truth is, like, we're all here in the middle, you know, trying to figure it out together and hopeful that we are going to, as a society, make the right bets. And this is where you just have to, you know, go on faith that it's like, yep, we're going to care about the people first. And it's a call that I would put out to every CEO and to every people leader, is to make sure that that's your priority, number one.
And you obviously spent a lot of time at Salesforce. You're on the board at PagerDuty. You have exposure to a lot of different customers, different sectors, and you have had that over the years. Is there anyone there who's like, no, I'm not doing this, or is it just like, what's at stake if you're not pushing forward?
Well, like,
not aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, what's at stake right now is the success of your company. If you're not pushing forward with AI, your competitors will have a large advantage over you if you're not bringing AI into your business responsibly, in a way that helps you not just make the business efficient, it helps you bring in more opportunity for people to rise above the rote work and into the strategic work, into the creative work. This is an imperative for businesses to embrace AI right now. And my imperative is to say, let's do it responsibly with transparency and accountability, so we can make sure to steer ourselves, you know, to a utopian outcome out of it.
I think we assume sometimes, or some of us assume sometimes, that leaders who are in companies that are, you know, where AI is part of the product, or who are leading teams where AI is being, you know, kind of pushed out there, are like fully immersed in AI at this point. But it is one more thing to learn. It is another, you know, language. And so I'm curious if you have tips on how to, just for the leaders in the room, like, how do you personally get, obviously it's a big part of your products, your company's products, but how do you personally in your day-to-day infuse AI into what you do? How do you optimize it? What are your tips there?
I mean, my tips are just to push yourself towards it. You know, my team knows this. Cheryl's like laughing at me because I'm like, are you going to Google that, or are you going to put that into ChatGPT right now? And we've been trained, as you know, this dog here knows the trick of going to Google and asking questions. As marketing teams, we've been trained, like, optimize for the SEO algorithms for the web pages that are out there. For your industry, it's quite good because the media tells stories and it tells relevance, and so you're not buying that. You're understanding what people's sentiment is. And so when you ask ChatGPT, it's not going to just go like, who paid the most for this ad word? It's going to say, okay, what is the sentiment and reality of what's going on, and surface that to you. So my advice is to use it, to try it, to not be afraid of it, to ask questions about it, be curious about it. You know, you probably have questions that you think other people all have figured out. You're like, if you ask it, they're like, oh my God, thank you so much for asking that. I was thinking the same thing too. I didn't know what to do right there. And so that's my advice, is to just have the courage and to go in your own experimentation and learning. There's a lot of courses, there's a lot of opportunity for things. My other piece of advice is to go outside of your swim lane, to not think that, like, we have taught ourselves, like, I'm only good at these things because this is what I know. And turns out with AI, it can give you these superpowers. You're like, oh, I can make a website. You know, I can make an app. I can draw. I'm not a very good painter, but I can describe something and it comes to life, and I can tell a story. So open your mind to the opportunities, and it's harder than you think sometimes to let your imagination go.
Yeah, I think what you said about going to Google, classic Google search versus ChatGPT is like, it resonates. I have this, and the habits that we have, in our day-to-day. I go to Yahoo Finance when I'm looking up, company data, financials, and Perplexity finance capabilities are like amazing, and the historical data that it can pull and give you exactly what you're looking for. So, but it's habitual.
It's
right?
habitual. You have to break the old habits.
Yeah.
Be like those little puppies out here, which are so cute, new little puppies in a new world. Or did you see?
Wait, I thought there were really puppies.
There were earlier. Oh, but there are.
No, I missed the puppies.
Oh, but they're from 12 to 3. Plug.
Okay. All right.
There are puppies in the expo, so if you stick around.
You really are a marketing, marketer at heart still. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be up here and pick your brain.
Thank you. And thank you all for tuning in. Have a wonderful day at Lattiverse. Thank you.